In this video, we will talk about part 1 of the Arabic alphabet, which are the one-way connectors. Before we know why we call them a one-way connector, we will work on the pronunciation of each one. So, this is, you probably know this one, which is the long vowel. This is the A. It's the long vowel, and also it's a one-way connector. This is A. And of course, the name of the letter is Alif, but we pronounce it as A. And then we have D. The. We pronounce this letter as we pronounce the definite article in English. The. And then we have Ra, which is the normal R in English. Ra. Then we have Z. And the last one is the Wa, which is the wa, or as we pronounced it before, the oo, if it will have a different short vowel. But this is the long vowel, and also it's a one-way connector. Let's pronounce them one more time. We have A, D, the, Ra, Z, and we have Wa. Now, let's talk about connecting these letters and why we are calling them a one-way connector. These letters do not connect if they are preceding or following each other. That's why we call them a one-way connector. They do not connect if they are preceding or following each other. Let's see how we write them. So, this is a table of these letters in their different positions of the letter. And this is basically, it's related to the name of a one-way connector. Basically, one-way connector is related to how we write these letters in the word. So the first column from the right here is basically how we write these 6 letters isolated, and if it was preceded with a one-way connector, another one-way connector. So if these letters are preceded or written isolated, they are going to be written like that. Now, if they are preceded by the other group, which is the two-way connector, it's going to be written like that. It will have this hand or this dash here, so it will be connecting with other letters. Now, of course, you don't have to know that at this point, because we will talk about it in detail in our next video, which is the two-way connectors. But let's focus on the one-way connector, and always keep in mind that if they are preceding or following each other, we do not connect them. Let's see how we write them, or examples of writing the one-way connectors. So this is, like we said, this is Alif, or this is A. This is how we write it if it was isolated, or if it was preceded by a one-way connector. Now, so this is how we write it. It's just like the one in English, and it's basically on the line. And by the way, you don't have to write it exactly like that. It can be just written as just one line. Okay. Now, this is basically for the Alif or A in the right. This is the same one. The second one here is the a if it was preceded with a two-way connector. We will connect it from the right. We will connect it from the right. Now again, we will talk about this in detail in our next video. Now let's continue to the da. This is how we write the da. Da. This is how it's going to be written, and of course it's going to be on the line. This is if it was isolated or if it was preceded by a one-way connector. Then we have the. The. It's on the line. It should be on the line, and it's the. It's almost written the same. And we have a dot on top, and then we have ra. This ra here is a little bit underneath the line. Can be a little bit underneath the line. This is the ra, and it's written like that when it's isolated or if it's preceded by a one-way connector. And then we have z, z, and it's a little bit underneath the line, and this is when it's isolated or if it was preceded by a one-way connector. Let's see some examples. So here we have these letters, and we are going to make some words out of it. So if we look at all of these letters, we will find the wa, we will find the ra, and we will find the da. And all of these, I think we know by now that wa, that's a one-way connector. Ra, that's a one-way connector. Da, that's a one-way connector. And see, they are following each other, and all of them are a one-way connector. And because of that, because all of them are a one-way connector, this is how they are going to be written. It's going to be written wa, we have ra, and we have the da. Let's see another example. Here we have the da, which is a one-way connector. We have a, which is also a one-way connector. And then we have the da, which is one-way connector. Let's see how it's going to be written. It's going to be written like this. It's going to be dad. This is how we will read it. Dad. Dad. Let's see this example. We have wa, wa. We have a. This is a long vowel, and it's an a, and it's also a one-way connector. So it will not connect. And then we have da, which is also a one-way connector, and it will not connect because all of them are a one-way connector, and all of them are following each other, so they will not connect. And this is how it's going to be written. We have wad, wad. So they are written separately. We did not connect anything, like we said, because these letters are one-way connector, and if they are following or preceding each other, we will never connect them.